let's try and film this thing. So my first impression of Thailand. What's up, guys? Welcome to Bangkok, Thailand. So coming from Ho Chi Minh, which is also a giant city in Vietnam, coming into Bangkok, I was like, okay, I'm used to this. I'm used to big cities and everything. In Ho Chi Minh, I'm used to when you're walking down the street, you'll pass like 10 shops when you're walking, I don't know, a block or less. There are spots like that in Bangkok, but it was interesting. Right when I got off the airplane, I'm like, okay, let's do this. Got myself some snacks and everything, got on the train, and then I'm like, okay, my hostel is like just a couple blocks away from the train. That's like a 20-minute walk, and it was 1 a.m. and I'm sitting there like, what the hell? Okay, all right, I guess I gotta get a grab. My first impression being like, whoa, this is another big city, but it works very different as far as like the blocks are bigger, the buildings are bigger. And another thing I did not know, helmet laws here, they're a lot looser than they are in Vietnam. In Vietnam, you have to wear a helmet. And so I got a grab. Here I used Bolt. So I have my backpack, my like wallet bag, and then I have my duffel bag as well. And the guy doesn't hand me a helmet, and so we're just like riding along, and like my duffel bag's like dragging on cars and stuff, and I'm like, dude, am I gonna fall off? Like, this is such a wild experience. So that was really interesting of like my first night there. And then right after that, I was like, I want to get out of the city because I spent a month in Ho Chi Minh. So I was like, I need to get out of the big city. So I immediately grabbed a bus the next day and went down to Krabi. Spent about a week there or so, did a hike, learned that my body actually sweats in humid weather. I always had trouble sweating at home. I would just get heat headaches at home, and so it's nice to actually sweat, as weird as that sounds. So yeah, I spent some time down in Krabi, then came back up to Bangkok, spent 2 days here, and then went up to Chiang Mai, and I spent close to a month there actually. Now I'm back in Bangkok for about a week. This is my actual time where I've spent like more time in Bangkok, because most of the time it was just kind of like traveling through. And yeah, Bangkok's really interesting. It's big. Last night and the night before, we went and checked out Khao San Road, which is it's a giant party street. There's one in Ho Chi Minh too called Bui Vien. And yeah, Khao San Road is huge. It's massive. There's tons of parties, just bars on either side of the street, tons of people walking. I decided to walk the whole thing last night. It'll take you 15 minutes to get from one side to the other, partially because you're just like wading through groups of people. It's like going to a night market, except imagine each of the stalls is a giant bar and club blasting music. So yeah, and then the hostel manager and I, it was her day off, and she invited me out, and we went to, there's like this one spot where the river goes around in Bangkok, and it's actually like a little island out there, and it's kind of in the outskirts of Bangkok City. So we took a boat. They have boat buses here that go along the river. It's really cool. So we took a boat, and then we hopped on the BTS, which is a SkyTrain, and then we switched into the MRT, which is another SkyTrain, and then we took a taxi, which then took us to a ferry that we took to get to the island. And then we rented bikes and just rode around the island for a little bit. It was really nice. One of the other workers at the hostel took me out to a local bar near his house, and it was really cool. They make their own liquor, and so it was really fun to try like homemade liquor, local liquor here. That's not your name brand that you're going to find in a 7-Eleven or anything like that. It was fun to try the different flavors. And also, one of the interesting things I've noticed about like local liquor in Thailand, it hits differently. The way that you're going to feel it is going to be different. The way that it's going to affect you is going to be slightly different than your normal liquor. I don't know exactly how to describe it. It's just a different feel. I got to try 3 different kinds. One was like a rice vodka, which I definitely tasted a lot of the rice notes. It was very interesting. It had kind of, I guess the closest way to describe it would be like a really hard sake. That's probably the best way to describe it. You definitely taste the rice and kind of the starchiness a little bit, not in a bad way at all. And then we tried one, it's an herbal liqueur that you have before you have a meal. So I guess kind of an aperitif, but it did have some kind of digestive flavors. So I think you could do it before or after the meal, but they typically do it before. And then I got to try, my camera just decided to shut off. I don't know why. Yeah, so the last one's really interesting. It had some vanilla flavor to it. Apparently it's the strongest out of the 3. yeah, so it was really neat to try like home distilled spirits. So yeah, that's been my experience. I am still here for another couple weeks or so, and then I'm gonna hop back over to Vietnam because I haven't checked out the north side yet, and I want to see my friends in the south side. Thank you guys so much for watching, and also a huge thank you for all of the comments. I love reading the comments. I have like literally, I keep thinking like, man, I have the best community of watchers. You guys are awesome. I love reading your comments. I love everything that you guys are doing. We are so close to getting monetized, so thank you guys so much for all of your support. I really appreciate it. Hit that like button, share, you know what to do. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.